I'm Dave and welcome to day 26 of RPGaDAY 2015. Hey, not many to go now. You've lasted this long, why give up? Okay, today's question is favourite inspiration for your game. I'm lucky enough to be joined today by a special guest, Andrew Peregrine, who you probably know for his work on things like Firefly, Buffy, Victoriana, the list goes on. He's bringing a special video from a particularly interesting location to tell us his favourite inspiration for his RPGs.
Hi, my name's Andy Peregrine. I'm a freelance writer for role-playing games. I've worked on Dave's Doctor Who RPG, Firefly, 7th Sea and recently Vampire the Masquerade. I also create my own games as co-own design, which includes Pie Shop and the very silly Hellcats and Hockey Sticks. But today I'm coming to you from the heart of London's West End, at the Theatre Royal Haymarket, where I do my other job as a lighting technician. I was hoping Dave would let me answer a question about talking about how good Doctor Who is, or why 7th Sea and Vampire are such great games, but he gave me quite a tough question for my video. What is it that inspires me, my favourite inspiration? I couldn't think of anything specific until I realised, in a way, I was sitting in it. What drives stories for me, gaming and my writing, is story, characters, the sort of things you find in theatre, plays, television, novels. I think it's also one of the reasons we get excited about licensed properties, because what we want to do is play our games the way we see in these TV series, with amazing characters and incredible plots. I certainly remember, full confession time, that many of my characters had swords that could fly to their hands after watching Hawk the Slayer, and all my mages wanted to be as cool as Raistlin. But role-playing allows us to do more than just watch a show. We get to be the audience, actors, writers and producers, and eat pizza while we're doing it, so we can be inspired by almost any aspect of the dramas we watch. A great character might give us an idea for an NPC, an incredible plot might make us think of a new adventure, an exchange between two characters might inspire a new relationship among the player characters. Even the choice of music might give us an idea of the sort of theme and style of the game we're looking to play. Incidentally, one of the ways I created a few campaigns is to take an album and base an adventure on each song. Some lyrics, especially the ones full of imagery and metaphor, can inspire some pretty amazing ideas. But it's drama I come back to, what makes me want to run and play particular types of game. When I'm surprised or impressed by a series, I get inspired to play that sort of game, or build that sort of world. Hopefully my players or GM are thinking the same thing after having watched the same show. So I should add, it isn't just the shows that inspire me, I suppose. That's what gets me started. It's the initial ideas going about who or what I want to play. The biggest inspiration once we get going is the other players. The way our characters interact has created hatreds, romances, secrets, friendships, thankfully just inside the game, whether I'm dealing with them as a player or another GM. Each group has its own dynamic for bouncing ideas back and forth and inspiring each other to expand their characters, their relationships, and even the game world. And for me, it's that cycle of inspiration that makes role-playing so amazing and so much fun. So that's my answer. I hope you have one of your own too. Dave, back to you.
Thanks, Andy. Okay, that's a really cool place to be filming your video from. Okay. Well, as I'm not actually running a game at the moment, I'm actually writing one. I guess the favourite inspiration is going to be the ones that are inspiring the Wild RPG. I'll move to one side so I can put the logo up. Logo! Wild, as you may know, is wake-initiated lucid dreaming, and it's heavily inspired by a number of things, which I should go through now. Okay, let's have a look at the things that are inspiring Wild. I suppose the biggest inspiration for Wild is possibly, I know controversially, my favourite film of all time, which is Inception. I love Inception. There's so much wrong with Inception, which is a problem. I know some of it doesn't work, and there's a problem with the logistics of it all and how the kicks work and what's really the way that the levels work and whether they actually should be getting out of limbo, or whether when Ariadne comes out of limbo, she only goes up one level and then has to ride the kicks out. But when Cobb comes out of limbo with Saito, does he go all the way up in one go because the other levels aren't there anymore? Does he just end up one level above, and is he still dreaming at the end? And is the spinning top actually his totem, or is it his wedding ring? Or yeah, there's a lot to think about in Inception, but it gets you thinking, which is great. But I really wanted to do Inception as an RPG, but I wanted to change the game setting so it made a little bit more sense, and had more concrete rules. But that's the biggest influence. But that wasn't all. I think it was because shortly after seeing Inception, I saw SuckerPunch. Now, a lot of people don't like SuckerPunch, and it's understandable because it's not a great film. It looks awesome though. It looks fantastic. There's a great video online, which I might post a link to in the text at the bottom, called You Don't Understand SuckerPunch. And when you watch that, you suddenly go, oh God, yeah, that is real. That doesn't make sense. No, you're not looking at it all from Baby Doll's point of view. When I first saw SuckerPunch, I hated it. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought that it could have worked with a bit of a rewrite. But I loved the look of it. And I really wanted to take SuckerPunch and Inception and mush them together into one movie, so that when Cobb and that lot go into the dreams, it's not just, oh, I'm in a hotel. Wouldn't it be more exciting if they go into somebody's dreams and it's what they were like watching on TV most recently, or what they'd been reading in a book beforehand, and it was actually dragons and orcs and planes over the top of it dropping bombs on orcs, and trains full of robots and clockwork and steam-powered undead zombies in World War One and mech suits and stuff like that. See, that would be great. So that's another influence. Another big influence on Wild, of course, is Tron. Especially the second one, Tron Legacy. Tron's awesome. Loved Tron as a kid so much. That was one of the first games I tried to design as an RPG before I'd even tried doing that sort of thing. And all I ended up doing was doing character sheets and making a map of the game grid. Man, what a stupid idea that was. But yeah, I was only about 13, 14, so you can understand that. But yeah, love Tron, but the idea of programs being sentient and trying to escape from their computer environment, there's another element that might be heavily influencing Wild, maybe. Could it be that archetypes from the collective unconsciousness might actually be so sentient that they could try and break out of dreams and into the real world? A bit like the rather awesome film Paprika, which I haven't brought over here because I think I've loaned it to somebody. But of course, the t-shirt gives away another one. The Matrix. I love The Matrix as well. It's such a shame that didn't happen as an RPG. I mean, that would have been awesome. Matrix is one of my go-to films for comfort food. Just watch that over and over again, just leave it on constant play in the background. I might actually put that on again in a minute. And yeah, I love The Matrix. But the idea of all of reality being a lie, and that you're all just attached to machines and living in a dream world. Oh, here we go. Another influence for Wild. So hopefully, if you like any of those, I know the sequels for The Matrix aren't very popular, even though I love them all equally, and the Animatrix. And I liked the video game as well, even though it was a bit tricky and I was a bit crap at it. if you liked any of those, if you like all of those, then you're particularly going to like Wild when it's out, hopefully. If I can just get the darn thing finished. At the end of RPG a Day, I will be taking some time off from the internet so I can actually do some writing. Okay, so what's your favourite inspiration for a game? Is it watching Game of Thrones? Does that really fire up for some good fantasy battles? Or do you prefer watching science fiction, watching some good TV, or reading good books and stuff like that? Is that what inspires you the most? Or are you inspired by something that we're not really familiar with? I don't know what that means. But hey, let's go with that. Cool. Let me know. Don't forget to share on the interwebs using hashtag RPGaDay2015. And until tomorrow, stay moldy classy.